Amidst the bustling town of Illyria, nestled amidst cobblestone streets and quaint shops, resided a renowned storyteller named Silas Blackwood. With his captivating voice and infectious passion for weaving tales, he had drawn crowds from far and wide, captivating their imaginations with his vivid descriptions and suspenseful narratives. However, behind his charismatic facade, Silas harbored a troubled secret, the suspicion that his wife Beatrice was engaged in an illicit affair. Beatrice, a woman of grace and charm, possessed an air of mystery that Silas found both alluring and perplexing. Her late-night rendezvous and frequent excuses for her absence had gnawed at his trust, leaving him questioning the very foundation of their marriage. One balmy summer evening, Silas's suspicions reached a boiling point when he stumbled upon a clandestine note bearing Beatrice's handwriting and a rendezvous location. His heart pounded with a mix of anger and despair as he deciphered the rendezvous time. Their customary wedding anniversary celebration. The following day, Silas's mind raced with conflicting emotions. Should he confront Beatrice directly, risking their fragile relationship, or should he gather more evidence, ensuring he had irrefutable proof of her infidelity? The weight of the decision pressed upon him, casting a shadow over the upcoming anniversary celebration. As the sun set on the eve of their anniversary, Silas found himself standing outside a quaint bistro, the designated rendezvous spot. His gaze darted around, searching for any sign of his wife or her lover. The bistro was dimly lit, its ambiance exuding an air of secrecy and intrigue, mirroring the turmoil within Silas's heart. Suddenly, he spotted Beatrice, her silhouette unmistakable amidst the flickering candlelight. She was seated at a secluded table, engaged in an intimate conversation with a man whose back was turned to Silas. A surge of anger coursed through Silas's veins as he observed the familiarity in their gestures, the way they leaned in close, their voices barely a whisper. His grip tightened around the note he held, the evidence of Beatrice's betrayal burning against his palm. He took a deep breath, his resolve hardening as he prepared to confront her. With a determined step, he entered the bistro, the soft strains of jazz music filling the air. Beatrice's eyes widened in alarm as she saw Silas striding towards her table. The man she was with swiftly excused himself, leaving her alone to face her husband's wrath. Silas stood before her, his face etched with a mixture of hurt and anger. He held up the note, his voice trembling with barely contained emotion. "Is this your handwriting, Beatrice?" Beatrice's eyes darted between the note and Silas's face, her composure crumbling under his accusing gaze. "Silas, she began, her voice trailing off. "Don't even try to deny it, Beatrice," Silas interrupted, his voice laced with bitterness. "I've seen the way you look at him, the way you touch him. You're having an affair, and you've been lying to me about it." Beatrice's eyes welled with tears, her denials falling silent. She knew there was no escape from Silas's accusation. Silas's voice softened, a hint of desperation creeping in. "Why, Beatrice, why would you do this to us?" Beatrice looked up at him, her eyes filled with regret. "I don't know, Silas. I thought I could find something that you couldn't give me, something that made me feel alive again." Silas's heart ached at her words. He had always been devoted to their marriage, striving to provide her with love, support, and a sense of security. But somewhere along the way, he had failed to see the void within her, the yearning for something more. "This isn't the end, Silas," Beatrice pleaded, her voice laced with hope. "We can work through this." Silas shook his head, his resolve hardening. "No, Beatrice. This betrayal has shattered the foundation of our marriage. I cannot trust you anymore." With a heavy heart, Silas turned and walked away, leaving Beatrice alone in the bistro, her tears mingling with the soft music that filled the air. The once vibrant storyteller had been silenced, replaced by a man wrestling with the aftermath of betrayal and the pain of a love lost. The following day, Silas gathered his belongings and left their shared home, leaving behind the memories of a love that had once been so strong. He knew that the path ahead would be difficult, filled with the echoes of betrayal and the challenges of rebuilding his shattered life. But he also knew that he had to find the strength to move forward, to find solace in the stories he would once again weave, stories that would reflect the resilience of the human spirit. The weeks that followed were a blur of pain and sorrow for Silas. He found himself lost in the labyrinth of his memories, revisiting the joy and laughter of their shared past, juxtaposed with the bitter sting of betrayal and the weight of a love that had been broken. His once invigorating storytelling, the passion that had captivated audiences for years, seemed to have drained away, replaced by a hollow emptiness. The words that flowed so effortlessly from his lips now felt like heavy stones, each one a reminder of his shattered world. Silas sought solace in the familiar embrace of his stories, hoping to find the spark that had once ignited his passion. He would spend hours poring over old manuscripts, reliving the tales that had once poured from his heart. But the magic was gone. The townsfolk of Illyria noticed the change in their beloved storyteller. The vibrant energy that had once filled his performances was replaced by a somber tone, his voice lacking the warmth and enthusiasm that had drawn them to his stories. Attendance at his gatherings dwindled, and the once enchanted audience now sat in silence, the weight of Silas's sorrow hanging heavy in the air. Despite the dwindling interest, Silas continued to perform, driven by an inner compulsion to share his stories, even if they now echoed the darkness of his own heart. He found solace in the act of storytelling, in the creation of worlds and characters that could escape the confines of his own pain. One evening, as Silas stood before a small, scattered audience, a glimmer of hope emerged from the depths of his despair. As he wove a tale of resilience and transformation, the familiar spark began to flicker within him. The words flowed more freely, the characters came alive, and the audience, though still small, found themselves drawn back into the magic of Silas's storytelling. In the weeks that followed, Silas's performances gradually regained their former vibrancy. The audience grew, drawn back by the raw emotion and authenticity that now infused his stories. Silas's voice, once heavy with sorrow, now carried a newfound strength, a determination to rise from the ashes of betrayal and find his way back to the light. Silas's stories evolved, reflecting the transformation he had undergone. He wove tales of broken hearts mending, of love overcoming adversity, of resilience triumphing over despair. His audience found themselves captivated by his honesty, by the way he dared to confront the darkness within himself and find the light that flickered beneath. As Silas's stories resonated with his audience, so did his own healing process. He began to see his betrayal as a catalyst for growth, a chance to rediscover his strength and redefine his purpose. He realized that the pain he had experienced did not define him, but rather fueled his determination to rebuild his life and share his stories with the world. Silas Blackwood, the storyteller who had once lost his voice to betrayal, found it again, stronger and more resonant than ever before. His stories became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a spark of hope waiting to be ignited. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story about betrayal and resilience. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel for more suspenseful tales.